I'm Senator Alyssa Slotkin.
Senator Mark Kelly.
Representative Chris DeLuzio.
Congresswoman Maggie Goodlander.
Representative Chrissy Houlihan.
Congressman Jason Crow.
I was a captain in the United States Navy.
Former CIA officer.
Former Navy.
Former paratrooper and Army Ranger.
Former intelligence officer.
Former Air Force.
We want to speak directly to members of the military
and the intelligence community
who take risks each day
to keep Americans safe.
We know you are under enormous stress and pressure right now.
Americans trust their military.
But that trust is at risk.
This administration is pitting our uniformed military
and intelligence community professionals
against American citizens.
Like us. You all swore an oath
to protect and defend this Constitution.
And right now, the threats to our Constitution aren't just coming from abroad,
but from right here at home.
Our laws are clear. You can refuse illegal orders.
You can refuse illegal orders.
You must refuse illegal orders.
No one has to carry out orders that violate the law
or our Constitution.
We know this is hard
and that it's a difficult time to be a public servant.
But whether you're serving in the CIA,
the Army,
or Navy,
the Air Force,
your vigilance is critical.
And know that we have your back.
Because now, more than ever,
the American people need you.
We need you to stand up for our laws,
our Constitution,
and who we are as Americans. Don't give up.
Don't give up.
Don't give up.
Don't give up the ship.
You can't always tell everything that's going on right up front, because if you tell everything that's going on right up front, then your enemy is going to know exactly what you're doing.
I hope you're able to find the 30,000 emails that are missing.
So yeah, we have a bigger issue than just Democrats. We have an issue of the American indoctrinated people that just let things like this go. It's been happening for years and years and years, and frankly, I'm sick of it. And so I'm just telling you, they're telling you, and they've been telling you this stuff in front of your face for a really long time.
Our own government working against us. I mean, we've always had the government working against us. We just didn't know it. Hey, everybody. Good afternoon. This is April or June. And yeah, it's one of those days. It's raining outside. It's ridiculous. So curling your hair is not going to happen. Just saying. I want to say hello to Linda Dubois. I call her Dubois. Is that even how you pronounce it? I don't even know if that's true. I've been calling her that forever. Bats Rabbit. Hello, blasphemers. We must be. How dare us? Karen is over there on Rumble. Nice to see her. We've got Kim also this afternoon. Who else is in this room? I see there's a whole bunch of people. Oh, Paula, how are you today? Nice to see you too. Wireman. How are you? Can't wait to have that class over the weekend, that's for sure. I do believe that they're traitors, absolutely, and I do believe that they're committing sedition, and this is not just one video, okay? Even though this video is now taken off, the reason that it's taking off is because of Donald Trump's response. You're the only one that pronounces it right? Oh, Linda Dubois. It might be because I had French for 5 years. Yeah, don't ask me to speak it. I can read it real good, but speaking it is another story. So that video at the very beginning is so ridiculous. So I think what they did is they put that video in. They said, okay, now what can we do that everybody's going to know exactly what we're talking about, but we don't want to make it so that he can use it against us in court. That's what I think they actually did. Okay. Because they're not talking about, they didn't come right out and say, defy the president at every turn. Je ne suis parler français. Tant bien. That's about as good as I can get. So they're literally putting their toes up to the line. This is what the Clintons did forever. Okay, so here's Clinton, all right, Bill Clinton, putting his feet on the line of, is this really something that a president should do? Like what he did with Monica Lewinsky in the Oval Office. Yeah, that kind of thing, where it's not technically against the law. I mean, if Monica Lewinsky would have come out and wanted to file charges against Bill Clinton, she surely could have done that, but she didn't. Okay. So that might have been one thing. So they impeach him. It's voted to impeach him, but he already knows that that's a like going, so we're impeaching you and you have the option to step down or not. And if you do, okay. If you don't, okay too. That's like a judge trying to, you say, dude, you need to recuse yourself. I mean, you literally are related to these people, or you have had ex parte communication, or you, whatever, are benefiting from this thing, and you're not stepping down. This is the same exact thing. The judge gets to decide whether he's going to recuse himself. The judge gets to decide whether you are able to appeal the decision. Really? The judge gets to decide if you object to his ruling. And you say objection, and you've got all of your ducks in a row, and the judge denies your objection to his ruling. Are you seriously kidding me? Shouldn't that be a neutral party figuring that out? I would think so. So here's what we have. We have Democrats that are emboldened now, continually doing the same exact thing where they're getting away with stuff because they're just skimming the surface of something. And frankly, I think if you put all of the things together that they've done, they're actively every single day working against the United States of America, which is the American people, to try to bring down the Trump administration, which we the people put there. Okay, they're the ones who went out and usurped all of us through the voting system to put in that vegetable and all of his little treasonous, seditious people that were around him committing treason against us and sedition, all those things. And yeah, I think actively working against the United States of America, which is us, we are the government. We are, not them, we are, means that they are absolutely committing treason against us. Okay, it's not just treason against the Constitution. It's not just breaking their oaths and all that kind of thing. It's actively trying to instigate our demise, working every single solitary day to put us in slavery chains and enrich themselves, making a society where the middle class is not even there. And then there is a lower class, which they would say, you're the peasants, you serve me. Okay. And them, the elitists, who will sit there and put you in, whether it's psychological chains or real ones, doesn't matter. I think the psychological chains are worse because people are walking around slaves. They don't even know that that's what they are doing. It's absolutely ridiculous. Hi, Froggy. Great. How are you? Yeah, I do think so. Today we're going to be talking about this video, and it is blowing up everywhere. I don't know if you've noticed it. I saw it last night, and I thought, are you seriously kidding me? You are asking the military to defy Pete Hegseth's orders and the president, and you think that somehow because you were in the military, that's great. I can't even understand somebody who's in the military who's a Democrat. That does not compute in my head. Because if you are in the military and you're a Democrat, that tells me you have got to be completely 100% brain dead. It doesn't even make any sense to me. Personally, think they all have been arrested and have been dealt with. Well, I know what you're talking about. Serfdom? Yeah, exactly. I don't know. I watch things, like back in the 1600s, 1800s. I watch shows kind of around that time period. And, you can see the difference between the good rulers, the good landlords, go look it up, or those that are tyrannical. And what happens to them? It's kind of like, hello, if you want to keep on going down that road, what do you think's going to happen? So it's a whole thing, So this video is where one group of lawmakers and supposedly former intelligence, which I think is totally an oxymoron, and military officials, they're looking directly into the camera and tell the active duty service members that they can refuse orders. And what they're framing it as is illegal orders. Okay. But let's be honest, this is the same rhetoric we've been hearing for over a decade. Resistance, defiance, and the constant push to undermine lawful authority. That's what they're doing. And when do we say lawful? I'm not talking about the armed street thugs that continually harass people on the street. Not talking about that. It would be funny if we were seeing the Q map unfold. Oh, yes, but how dare you refuse the vaccine? Remember when they were kicking people out? If you don't take this experimental drug, we're going to kick you out of the armed services. Oh, you can wear nail polish and on guys, nail polish and high heels and makeup and pretend that you're a woman. You can do that part. But you can't not take the vaccine. Hello? Anybody see any kind of like bizarro world going on here? I mean, I think it's totally ridiculous. So now the president responded, calling it sedition. Now, he didn't specifically say this video is sedition. He didn't say that, but he did call them that they were acting seditiously. And even this is a separate thing. He tweeted out, hang them. Okay. And you know what, with everything we've seen from the Democrats over the past 10 years, the violence, the chaos, the glee from people getting shot that they don't like and killed. I mean, they literally care. When they sat there and they put George, what was his name? Floyd, up on a pedestal, who was a known violent criminal, gave him a golden coffin, and I believe there was even a chair, some kind of like coach involved there. And all of these people came out of the woodwork, the scum of the earth, to bow down and kiss the coffin of an actual criminal. I have a problem with that. Okay. Should have seen it right then. If you didn't, you're blind. Okay. Before that was Michael Brown. Before that was Trayvon Martin. Where they continually were upholding somebody who is a known criminal. And yeah, I am totally going to blame this on Christian people. Absolutely. Because the Christians should have stood up way long ago and said, we're not having it. I'm not voting for you. Here's the problem. Christianity has been infiltrated by these kind of people. And you think because you went to lunch with them, apparently they're okay. They're not okay. They're not okay. It's not okay. It's not okay in any world that has civility in it at all. Okay? So yeah, he said hang him. While Democrat-run cities fell apart and crime's been exploding everywhere, the president stepped in and he's used his constitutional authority to clean it up. That's what they're saying they're mad. How dare you invade our cities? How dare you do that? We don't like you coming in here and cleaning up all the crap. The only people that are actually happy about it are the people who live there, not the people who've been installed there to pretend to run the show, but everything else. Another lawsuit is coming? I hope so. Proves the you mean 501c3 churches are corrupted. It doesn't even matter if they're 501c3s. Okay? It doesn't matter if they're 501c3s. 501c3 is just a status that dumb people think they have to have who are involved in a church setting. And the reason I'm saying that is because I know people with a lot of money. Okay. I know a lot of people with a lot of money, and they absolutely will not give their tithing or their money or anything else to support a project, nothing, without the church being a 501c3, because that's just how stupid and indoctrinated they are. Are you on Santa's good list? I don't. Sorry, Mike. Santa's not a thing around here. It's a whole thing. I don't even want to go into it right now. So probably not. But that being said, I'm sitting here thinking to myself, are you seriously kidding me? The Christian people have sat down in their comfy little pews and done zero. I would say that on all the, I know a lot of church people, okay? And I know a lot of church people in a lot of different denominations. I would say probably 90% of them or better don't do anything to get rid of this kind of crap. Don't do anything. Zero. They sit there. I don't want to talk about that. It just doesn't make me feel good. Well, here's where we are. Does this make you feel good? I don't think so. Hey, John. Nice to see you over there on Rumble. So here we have Democrat-run cities falling apart all over the place. Yes, they've tolerated themselves into this whole entire situation. And Christ isn't even tolerant. Not even, no. God is not tolerant. Christ is not tolerant. Why is the Christian community tolerant? It's one thing to come as you are spiritually, with a contrite heart and a repentant spirit and all that kind of thing. It's another to sit there arrogantly and pretend as if you're the good person. There is no way that I'm going to sit there and do that, because you know what? Christ even said, only the Father in heaven is good. He didn't say it exactly in those words, but you know what I'm saying. Okay. It's ridiculous. But God actually entrusted us with this land. God actually entrusted us with the Constitution. God actually entrusted us to do something about it. Because I'm telling you, all these Christians are sitting there and saying every single minute of every single day, let God handle it. Okay, well, just my father uses this example, and I think he's absolutely right. Okay, when God handled the garden out there, see, because I got all these plants out there. I got a pond, I got stuff growing in the pond plants, all that stuff. And I got all these vegetables and fruit trees, all that stuff. When I just let God handle it, the weeds grew real tall. Okay. Nothing was pruned. God gave us the charge over that stuff to make sure that it actually grows. He gave us the tools to do it and the brain to use. So when you sit there and you sit in that comfy little pew and you go to your little clique every single Sunday and Wednesday and whatever you decide you're going to do, and you sit there and you don't want to get actively involved and your pastor tamps you down. Hey, we don't want to talk about politics here. Okay, because the only thing that a 501c3 can't do is endorse a specific candidate, but you can do everything else. You're the problem. You are the problem. I can't even drag people out of their pews to help. I can't even shut the pie holes of the elitist, ridiculous people who are supposed to be in charge of the churches and tell them exactly what I'm saying, which is God entrusted us with this land. God entrusted us with the Constitution. God orchestrated it to be done. What in the heck are we doing? We're not even defending it a little bit. We're sitting, hands off, God will handle it. Well, guess what? Every single time that happens and you don't get involved, God says, if you're not going to get involved, I'm just going to leave you to whatever you're doing. If you're going to let them run rampant over you, I guess I'm just going to let them do it. Because the church, the government is a reflection of the church. If the government is a reflection of church, what does that say about the church right now? Yikes. So yeah, I think what Trump said was absolutely true. And what are the Christians going to do? Oh, how dare he say that? How dare he? I'm so offended by his language. You know what I'm offended by? I don't care about his language. What I care about is I'm offended by you not doing anything. That leaves it for the people who are like me, who go out there. I've had signs, okay? I protested stuff, not violently. I don't set people's stuff on fire, and I don't break their windows, and I don't smack them around like the Democrats do. I don't get in their faces and start screaming and yelling at them, okay? Now, I will talk loudly to a senator. Better believe it. That's my right to be able to do it. If you want to sit in that seat, then you're going to pay the consequences. And I'm going to say to you what I want to say. And if you keep elevating your voice and you keep interrupting what I'm saying, I will be more than happy to get louder myself, because I'm not going to be out-talked by you. Not. Because I will actively campaign against you. Okay? Actively campaign against you if you're the one who's obstructing our ability to be free. Because what do we have? We have the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, don't we? And then we have tyrannical street thugs out on the streets continually harassing us every single minute of every single day, trying to figure out what they can do to charge good people with crimes they didn't commit, and letting thugs out on the street. I got that situation happening right now in my neighborhood. Right now. We got a street thug that's over thinking that he's the king of the neighborhood, running around, circling people. He's got a shotgun, circling people for being on the street. And guess what the armed street thugs did? Nothing. Zero. They actually arrested the person he was harassing. Yes, because we have a bunch of tyrannical pieces of crap, and the Christians didn't stand up and say, we're not taking this anymore. Are you seriously kidding me? The guy's got a record. She doesn't. This is what we're at right now, where the crime is running rampant, backed by the armed street thugs, the biggest street gang in the entire United States of America, against the good people. That is exactly what's going on. It's going on in my own community. So when the Democrats are running stuff, everything falls apart. And then when you put in a rhino, because you go, oh yeah, they must be good because they have a Republican R by their name. You can't, you're so blind by the R. You're so blinded by the R. You can't even see that this person is the same as that other person with a D. And you can't even come together to get a candidate who's actually for the people. Because, oh, we're going to let God handle it. Well, the plants do need a little water. I must say that. But they do like it in here a lot better. That's for sure. Out in the cold, not so much. So then this video drops after all these Americans have gone on video saying how grateful they are for President Trump, National Guard coming in their community, ICE getting out the illegals who are committing crimes. I'm not talking about just like, the fact that they crossed the border illegally and that's their crime. No, I'm talking about violent crimes, shaking down people who live in apartment buildings, taking over the entire apartment building, shaking them down for the money that they're supposed to be paying the landlord, threatening them, using physical attacks. And I don't even want to go into how many of those are, that some of them lead to death. And we're just supposed to say, oh gosh, yeah, totally disobey. No. Just so we're clear here, the National Guard is only there to protect ICE. And ICE is there doing their job of getting these criminals out of our country. So the delusion and craziness of the Democrats and all their little blue-haired, purple-haired, red-haired, whatever. And when I say red, I'm talking about that orangey clown red. I'm not talking about a natural, beautiful redhead. I'm not talking about that. Green, purple, blue, whatever hair they have, who is confused about what bathroom to use, can't understand common sense, definitely can't do math. Okay? Those people support the chaos in the city. It's unbelievable to me. Illegals crossing the border is a crime. Yeah, I know. But they're doing a lot more than that. A lot more than that. You know? So here's this video that drops, encouraging people inside the military and inside the intelligence agencies to question the commander-in-chief that we voted for. We voted for him. We didn't vote for all those people. I didn't vote for any of those people on that list. Not one. Yeah, exactly, Karen. Can't define one. I don't know. I don't know. I'm Ketanji Brown. I happen to be one of those, Supreme Court justices. I don't even know what a woman is. I don't know. I'm not a biologist. Well, I'm not a psychologist, but I can tell stupid when you're standing in front of me. Just saying. Yeah. Yikes. The American people are tired of being bullied, tired of being threatened, tired of being told to sit down and shut up while the criminals are running around the streets. I am tired of it. I'm tired of it. They're trying to tell these people in the military to decide which orders they think are legal or illegal. Now, I'm going to just ask you this question. If the armed street thugs in uniform that are weaponized with low IQs can't figure out what is lawful and what isn't, how do they expect the military to do that? I mean, we literally dumbed down the entire population so much they can't even figure it out anymore. And I don't believe that's patriotism at all. We should have educated each one of those people, whether it's military, whether it's, so I don't even want to call them law enforcement because they're not. They're not enforcing any laws. They're actually enforcing things that are illegal that have been put there by people that have been selected into positions where, and with a drama that we call voting, which is just a show to pretend that we did something, okay, to install their little puppets to do whatever it is their bidding is. And the people just accept it. Well, that's the way it is. I can't even tell you how many times I've heard in these cities, okay, from people who should know better. Yes, exactly. Like Mark Carney in Canada, like Memdani in New York. I have a hard time believing that Memdani actually won that thing. I really do. It should make everybody ill. They rob us blind with all the things they put on us. Oh, exactly. Hey, Richard, nice to see you. Didn't see you there. Fed up. We need to participate in taking our country back and not sit and hope it gets done. Exactly. Do you know how hard it is for us to get people to come out and even hold a sign? I mean, it's not like we're sitting there and we're asking them to do some heavy lifting. Okay. We're not sitting there and saying, hey, I want you to tote that barge, lift that bale. No, it's a sign. Most of the time, the signs are on a stick. Okay. Hey, Felix. Nice to see you. I say Felix. I know who you are. The signs are paper. It's stapled to a stick, if it even has that. Sometimes it's just paper. Ooh, that's tough. How is a Muslim able to do any? I don't know. McCarran-Walter Act needs to be re-implemented. I don't even know how they can possibly uphold the Constitution. It doesn't. The Constitution and the Quran do not line up together at all. Not at all. Mamdani was placed, not elected. I agree. I think it's been that way most of the time. The only reason that President Trump is there is because we, the people, overwhelmed the system so much and kept our eyeballs on it this time. They couldn't cheat enough. Oh, they tried. I believe they absolutely tried. But they couldn't cheat enough to get it done. So now they want these people who've been dumbed down to figure out whether something's legal or illegal. But see, thank God for President Trump, and thank God for Pete Hegseth, who actually do know the Constitution and can give them orders that are constitutional. Do you think for 1 second that Donald Trump hasn't analyzed the Constitution and has all of his lawyers analyzing the Constitution to make sure that whatever move he makes is constitutional, so that when the Democrats start whining and screaming and hollering and whatever else they do, I call it more gnashing of teeth, that they already know they're going to win in the Supreme Court. But every single time something happens, what do? They got to run to court. Oh, how dare you? How dare you make this country great again? Dearborn, Michigan needs to absolutely be raided by ICE. Oh, I know. And our military, same with Texas. Texas. Texas should be ashamed of itself. I mean, I don't even want to go there. I don't even visit. Yeah, you got great steaks, but hey, it's not worth my life. I can tell you that. Cheaters got tired of being cheated. Yeah, exactly. So we voted for Trump. That is absolutely 100% sure. That is for sure. So this is a line in the sand moment, I think. I really do. I think this might be a pivoting point for all of us right now. I want to show you this video here. Let me see. This is Chuck Schumer whining and crying about what Trump said, which I have to say, I thought it was interesting. It's like, oh, we got to address this right now. And he literally just did this. So look what he says.
Mr. President.
Democrat leaders recognized.
Earlier today, Donald Trump shared a post on Truth Social calling for Democratic members of Congress to be hanged. He also posted a message that said, seditious behavior, punishable by death.
True.
Let's be crystal clear. The President of the United States is calling for the execution of elected officials. This is an outright threat, and it's deadly serious. We have already seen what happens when Donald Trump tells his followers that his political opponents are enemies of the state. Every time Donald Trump posts things like this, he makes political violence more likely. None of us should tolerate this kind of behavior. We all remember what January 6th was like. We lived through January 6th. We have lived through the assassination and attempted assassinations this year.
I wish I had a tiny violin right now.
We have members whose families have had to flee their homes. When Donald Trump uses the language of execution and treason, some of his supporters may very well listen. He is lighting a match in a country soaked with political gasoline. Every senator.
Who poured the gasoline? Chucky?
Every representative, every American, regardless of party, should condemn this immediately and without qualification. Because if we don't draw a line here, there is no line left to draw. Who would have thought the President of the United States saying his opponents should be hanged?
Opponents? Oh no, you're not opponents. You're enemies now. Do you not get this, Chucky? This is, see, none of these people would ever want me to question them. Like, I'd be the one running around in the hallway going, excuse me, didn't you just do this? And why are you married to a man anyway? Just wanting to know. Go on.
It's outrageous.
Did you have to read that off your
president has
paper?
ever stooped as low as Donald Trump. None. He has made political violence a feature of his politics. And if we don't draw a line here, there's no line left to draw. And yet today, he crossed yet another line that no democracy can afford to tolerate.
See, this is the bullies whining. The bullies are whining because we're calling them out for it, and we're not backing down this time. I don't think we should have ever backed down, because every single time you back down from something when you know you're right, then you're the one who loses. You are the one who loses at that point.
He must be condemned forcefully, loudly, and without excuses.
Nope.
Before someone takes his words as permission to do the unthinkable. Anything less enables the flames of hatred to grow and spread.
Has anyone noticed that
Mr.
Chuck
President.
Schumer can't even say anything without reading it? He'll like stop mid-sentence, look down at his paper, and then finish the sentence as he's reading it, because he can't. It's like his thought processes stop as soon as his eyes leave that paper. Didn't the Dems take a few hits out on Trump? Oh, yeah. And other people. I mean, do you think for 1 minute that, I can't remember what her first name is, but Garufi, she was the one who wrote the book about Epstein. She was the one who was the whistleblower. She is the one who came out and said, no, I'm not going to sit here in the shadows and take this anymore. And she was in the hospital. I know she was hit by a bus. Now, I can't remember which way it happened, whether she was hit with the bus first and that didn't kill her. So they did it in the hospital, I think, or it was the other way around. Wherever there was, yes, Virginia. Yes, that's right. So there were 2 attempts, like back to back. The first thing didn't kill her, but the second thing did. It was the same thing with Seth Rich. So what happened to him? You know, here he is finding out all this stuff about the Democrat Party, going, wait a minute. I was a Bernie Sanders guy. I sat there and I campaigned for Bernie Sanders. I was one of his big time people. And you're telling me that this whole thing has been rigged the whole entire time, and the only reason that Bernie got out is because he was paid off? He's the one who hacked the DNC computers. We already know that. He's the one who downloaded all the information. Yeah, exactly. Seth Rich was Clinton. So we already know that. Julian Assange is the one who got the information, and Julian Assange is the one who said, yeah, it was him. Yes, that's right. Seth got finished off in the hospital too. Oh, I, at first I was like, no, Pence can't be a traitor. This is how good they are. Okay, so I've met Pence personally, okay, when he was running with Trump. They came to Durango. They were doing a rally. The day before, they were doing a rally with President Trump. Pence wasn't there, in Grand Junction, okay, which was a huge event, all right? So the very next day, Pence was going to come to Durango, which I have to say is a very tiring thing. And here it is. Pence is right there. I mean, like as far as away from me as my computer screen is right now. That's how far he was away from me. Speaking, talking to people, whatever, and didn't even give a sign that he was this traitor. Yeah, that's right. Donna Brazile was in the hospital when all were chased from the Seth Rich floor. Exactly. I remember that. Isn't it funny how that just happened to be? Donna Brazil just happens to be in the hospital at the same time that Seth Rich is there. Just happened to be visiting. She wasn't there on a health issue for herself. No. What were you doing, Donna? What exactly were you doing? Straight the movies, Pence betrayed Trump. I agree. And you know what's interesting? This whole entire last 10 years, 10 years, 2015 to now, I don't even think you could write a script for a movie with this kind of thing, continuous thing, episode after episode after episode after episode. I mean, we are now in season 5, almost ready to go to season 6 of the Trump administration. Aren't we? Isn't the season, we're coming up on season 6? Because season 1 through 4 was his first presidency. And then there was this, we're in season 5, getting ready to go to season 6. That's where we're at right now. Sanders was no more interested in being president than my cat. He was glad to exchange his votes for beachfront property and pass on the money stolen by his wife. Well, see, here's the thing. I do think that he wanted to be president for sure. I do think he did. I think he was stupid. Okay. And it's like you're trying to talk to somebody and they're not getting the words that are coming out of your mouth. And here's Bernie Sanders. I don't know if you could go look at his finances. Okay, so here's Bernie Sanders. He's going through this whole time. He's been in Congress for a long, long time. Still making that $175,000 a year or whatever it was. Scratching his head. How are all these people making this money? Because he wasn't on the inside. He was, here's all Congress, Republicans, Democrats. He's over here. Because they're like, you know what? He was the guy that's like, you're really weird. You know, you're the weird one on the outskirts, and we don't want to have anything to do with you. So you just go out there and you be weird, and we're going to keep all our secrets to yourself. Okay, so here he comes. All the people, these young people are getting behind him. Oh, it's so great to have Bernie out there. He's like a Muppet. Not seeing the danger, just knowing they don't want to be Democrats, knowing they don't want to be Republicans, but here's him. And so he's gathering steam, gathering momentum, understands he's gathering momentum. People are giving him $5, $10, and that adds up after a long period of time. So he's got this momentum going there like, hey, you know what? People like Bernie Sanders a lot better than they like Hillary. We got to do something. Bernie's been there too long, like the rest of them. Yeah, he does. He looks like one of those guys, you know, the guys that are sitting at the opera in that theater box. So here he is. He doesn't even know what's going on. And they go, okay, Bernie, you know what? You're going to sit down and you're going to shut your mouth. And we're going to tell you what's going on. Because I already know this is exactly what they do, because one of my friends who now is dead, okay, and I do believe that he was murdered. The Republican Party did this to him. So I know it's a thing that they do. They came to it and they said, you know what? Here's the deal. We're not going to get behind you to be president. You're not going to be president. And yes, Bernie's wife was stealing from the university. Absolutely, she was doing that. And I think they were about ready to really bring the hammer down on her. But miraculously, that all went away too. So they said, Bernie, we'll clean up all this stuff for you. We'll pay off all your campaign debts, and we'll make you a very rich person, and we'll tell you exactly how we're doing it, but you're going to have to get out of this race like yesterday. So you're going to have a choice. You're going to want money and your wife out of this problem, or we'll take you down a different way. What's it going to be? I mean, look what happened to John F. Kennedy Jr. He was running against Hillary Clinton. What happened? Gosh, right before the election, him and his wife have a plane crash. How dare they? Gosh, how did that happen? How convenient that was. And I don't even want to go down the rabbit hole of they're still alive and all that stuff and 107 and all that crap, okay? Because I don't, first of all, I don't believe any of that crap. Okay, I do believe that there are people out there who look like other people and blah, blah, blah. And I do believe that sometimes they do stand-ins, and I get all that stuff. I get all of it. But I don't believe that. Okay? So, on that note, they told Bernie to get out. Just like they told my friend. My friend was about ready to win a Senate seat in Colorado. And they strong-armed every single person out of the race except him. And this, the Corey, can't remember his last name, but Corey, whatever his name is, it's been a while, to get out of the race so that Corey could win state Senate. And so everybody got out except for him. And finally, they decided that they dox you and everything else. Mm-hmm. So what they do is they will dox you. They'll make your life hell. They'll do everything they possibly can. They will send people after your friends and family, whoever it is, so that they will be like, you got to get out of this race. You got to do it. You got to do it. If you don't get out of this race, we're all in danger. Because they know that your ridiculous family is going to do whatever it takes to get really, really put pressure on you. That's what they're going to do. They're going to try to put pressure on you. And I have to say, it's very, very annoying when you know you're doing something right, and the people that are tugging at your skirt is your own family. It's really, really nice. I can't even tell you how wonderful it feels to know that your family is not behind you. Because believe me, what are all these Muslims doing? They're standing behind each other, even though they're super, super wrong. What are the Democrats doing? They're standing beside each other, locking arms, even though they're very, very wrong. And so what happens when the people are actually doing the right thing? It's like they're scattered here and there. Coming together isn't a thing. And it's encouraged by their pastors. But I do understand that there is a difference between liberals and conservatives. Conservatives want to be left alone. Conservatives want peace in their own space, okay? They do not want you coming into their space to disturb their peace unless for some reason maybe you are invited in. They might be nice to you somewhere and you've made friends on a different setting. And then maybe they might invite you into their circle. But it's not like you just barrel on in and go, howdy, I'm here. We have a buffer zone, a gauge. You know, we have people in our realm that are very friendly and that kind of stuff. But for the most part, we want to be left alone. We want to be able to do our constitutional whatever we want that's not infringing on you in any way, and live our lives in peace. But it's always those who want to control you and tell you what to do and want what's yours that are the problem. And now they've infiltrated society all the way up and down, all the way through everything. Our inner sanctum is sacred. Yeah, exactly. And when that gets disturbed, that's a problem, because we have a constitutional right to our inner sanctum. We do. And they're trying to take it away. We truly do want to be private in every sense of the word. I know. And those people who are the armed street thugs can't understand that. That's why I said, show me on this doll, Mr. Street Thug. Show me on this doll exactly where you're hurt. Okay? Let's see if we can remedy that right now. And if we can't, then apparently you weren't hurt and you need to go away. People will cheer for Barabbas, who was wrong, than Jesus, who wanted for people to heal and help each other. I know. Oh, let me tell you this. Okay, this is there are some people that wanted to come to my property and tell me what I'm going to do on my property. Okay. And they were upset. They pretend that they're Jewish. They're not. Okay. They pretend like the Torah is everything. The Torah is the first 5 books of the Bible. Okay. Now I'm just going to tell you the first 5 books of the Bible were written by Moses, inspired by God. Okay. Because Moses wouldn't have known all that stuff if God hadn't told him. So anyway, here we have Moses. He's writing the first 5 books of the Bible. That is the only portion of the Bible that these people that are trying to tell me what to do believe. And I'm saying that because that's what they said. It's not because of what I said. It's because of what they said. So you come over to my house, try to tell me what to do. Beware of the Talmud. You're telling me. Okay. So, I'm a Christian. You guys know that. I do read my scriptures. I try to read them every day. I don't get to read them every day. Sometimes my eyes are just too tired, but I try to read it every day and get something out of it. Not just read it for the words that are on the paper, but just get something out of it as well. So she's proceeding to come into my office and tell me what to do in my house, and telling me that Jesus was just a Hebrew. Just a Hebrew. He's just a good Hebrew. And telling me that the Bible was written by man. Now, I was about ready to tell her, so do you know who wrote the first 5 books of the Bible? But she wouldn't stop talking. So telling me that I wasn't reading the Bible and all this kind of thing, I finally just said, I don't think we should be having this conversation, because it was very clear that she doesn't want anyone else's opinion. She just wants to strong arm hers. And this is my house. So I finally said, I don't think we should be talking about this right now, because I was getting mad. She just wouldn't stop. Why? Because you don't want to talk about scriptures? I said, and I wanted to say, well, see, you're quoting the New Testament to me. And for some reason, you just told me that that is a book written by men. So apparently you don't believe the scriptures that you're trying to quote to me. And you're trying to tell me that I don't read. So you're just being a hypocrite right now. And you need to get out of my office. Okay, well, she just kept on flapping. So finally I just said, look, I think you need to go home. I think you need to get out of my office right now. And she just wouldn't do it. Absolutely not. So then she got all belligerent and ridiculous and tried to hit me. And I mean, it was a whole thing. But see, I'm thinking to myself, if I don't establish my territory, okay, and the rules of engagement in my own place. Now, if I was wrong, that would be different. But I know I'm not wrong, because I'm like, I said, I don't want to talk about this right now. You're not going to come in here and dog on me about Christ being a good Hebrew and the Bible is bad, except for the first 5 books of the Bible, which you don't know who wrote them apparently, and then try to quote me New Testament stuff. No, that's hypocritical. Get out. I don't think I'm really wrong in that. So you can't come to my house and do this to me and then think that it's okay. And after I tell you to get out, you're going to stay. No, because it's my house. It's my territory. And constitutionally, I have a right to that. People should not be coming in to people should not be coming into my space and telling me what to do with my own stuff. If I was doing something that was constitutionally wrong, like infringing on someone else or something like that, I could totally see it, whatever. But telling someone you don't want to have this conversation right now and to just move on and then not doing it, and it's just a whole respect issue. You got to win over your territory. I got an instant comment, take it down. All I said was, it's all Greek to me. People need to respect your space, and you as well. I know. I would never go to anybody's house like that. But cops do it. Cops just invade your territory. Somebody in this audience knows that well. They just invade your territory. Like they got all the say in the world to invade your territory. Yeah, that's right. That's how they get rid of land patents, permanent rent by taxes. And people don't push back. Well, that's the way it's always done. Okay, so if you're always doing something wrong, are you just going to always condone doing something wrong because you keep doing something wrong? Or are you finally going to correct the issue? So what Donald Trump is doing is he's correcting the issue. When he says this stuff and drew the line in the sand, he is daring the Democrats to cross that line. He's daring them. It's like, okay, you want to put out a video like that? Then here's the line. You guys have been doing sedition and treason for a long, long time. In fact, I'm going to show you exactly what he said. I got it right here.
The Obama campaign spied on our campaign, and they've been caught. All right, and now let's see what happens to them. But they have been caught. They've been caught red-handed. It's probably treason. It's a horrible thing they did. It probably never happened before. At least nobody got caught doing it. But they used the intelligence agencies of our country to spy on my campaign.
I think there's spying did occur. Yes, I think spying did occur.
President Obama knew about it. Joe Biden knew about it. Comey knew about it. Brennan, Clapper, the whole group, they all knew about it. Lisa Page, the lover struck, they all knew about it. And we have it documented, we have it in texts, we have it in all sorts of forms. They knew about it. It was a terrible thing. Should have never happened and should never be allowed to happen again to a president. This should never happen again. This was a setup like we've never seen. I think it's the political crime of the century. And they've been caught. So let's see what happens to them all.
I don't know about you, but I think that's a pretty good video. Because it's true. It started way long ago, before that event. If you remember correctly, Donald Trump, when he first got in office, he remodeled the entire area that he was supposed to be living in. He did it because he was told that there were bugs everywhere. Yes, exactly. And so he didn't have a choice. They had to go through that entire place, the White House, and figure out where all the stuff was. It's amazing that the Democrats did not have a problem the first day that Donald Trump took over, when he started remodeling the entire place. Trump and said taxes been illegal since 1913. Tariffs took care of taxes. That's right. And he keeps telling people over and over. Bankers and corrupt officials decided to make a law taxation for inflation. Yes. He said this a million times. And until we start standing up and getting a little knowledge in our heads, they're going to keep this up. I think you guys need to put your heads on a swivel and make sure that you're alert. Because if you're not, you're going to be caught out there and you're not going to know what to do. And yeah, it might be that you're going to have to drop a few friends. We know that's happened. And it's sad to watch them sink. But, you know, like the Christians like to say, God will take care of it. Isn't that what they say all the time? God will take care of them. That's for sure.